ready to go. We'll find out whether or not he can. Keep an eye on number 11.
Here we go. We're looking for the red number 12 Honda of Keith Little.
Yeah, he did it again. From the 11th strat, the 12 out in front, but he loses the lead right away. Couple of guys banged up. The rest of the field goes on.
Wow, Little went wide, so he had problems. That's Pelchat that goes down, the number 46. All kinds of chaos off the start there. Russell Shoemaker, Sage Baker, they were stuck at the back. Whoa, this is an interesting start to the race. Look who's in front.
Yeah, look what it did for Chad Wienen. He gets through all of that mess. Actually, took Little pretty quickly after they made the turn and took the lead.
Well, Little was just really going too hard, too fast. He got out in the loose stuff there and didn't stand much of a chance beyond there. But this is a great race for Pat Brown, the 199 on that blue Yamaha behind Wienen.
And a good battle for third between Keith Little and John Natalie. But we want to take you back to the start and look at the hole shot. This is the Quad Magazine hole shot.
Well, Keith Little's so fast going into that corner, and he suddenly disappears, and you'll see why from the onboard. The Quad Magazine hole shot is all about getting to the orange line right there. And oh, he goes flying into the marbles.
And of course, that lets not just one, but several machines get past him. John Natalie working hard and gets around Keith Little. So Natalie now solidly has third place.
Well, Natalie now is going to fight towards the front. Remember, Natalie is chasing down Dustin Wimmer for the points lead. So every single place he gets in this race is a huge move for him.
And we look around for Dustin Wimmer a little further back in the field.
We're looking way back down the field right now. I guess that little bit of scuffle at the start must have caught up Gust and Wimmer. Oh, you can see the two yellow Suzukis coming in frame now.
There.
Wow.
Well, we saw several get caught up on the start. Wonder if that's not actually part of it.
Well, that's...
Oh, Gust and Wimmer get together!
Oh,
and they get locked up! Well, as if being way back was not a big enough issue, there goes the rest of the field. Goodbye. They are now last.
Dustin Wimmer rode up Doug Gust's back wheel, and those two quads are locked together. Yeah, maybe Dustin needs to get off, give Doug a bit of a hand. This young man can't believe his luck this weekend. Oh, man.
I'll tell you what, think of what this does overall to the race itself. They are now 19th and 20th.
Well, this is going to change things quite a bit. John Natalie now can kind of relax. I know that's not his style. He's going to chase down Wienen as much as he can, but as far as the points are concerned, this is a huge, huge blow for Dustin Wimmer.
There is Chad Wienen. He is the leader. Look just behind him, both Brown and Natalie is on the charge again.
Wow, look at Pat Brown throwing that thing around the corner. That's amazing style. I mean, he swung from the left to the right there. How on earth he stays aboard that thing? I got no idea.
John Natalie on 13, Brown on the 199. And look at the relationship up to the leader, Wienen. Oh, this is some good stuff here. Look at that. Natalie sits back in third. Natalie takes the lead. Brown has the faster line. Brown gets back in second.
Oh, man. John was trying all the inside lines. Pat Brown just had the speed on the outside. But this is it. This is Natalie's moment. He's starting to take. Yep, he makes the pass.
Oh, what a show these two have put on, though. John Natalie is now in second place. His next target is the leader, Chad Wienen.
Well, while they were battling, of course, it allowed Wienen to pull away because they were fighting pretty hard, corner to corner. Now the question is, can Natalie wear Wienen down, or will he kind of back it off a little bit?
Let's look at the whole thing again. Wow, look out sideways.
Oh, I think that's just the time that Pat Brown pushed it a little too hard, and John Natalie got on that nice hard blue groove.
You know, that he totally kept it on the course is really maybe the amazing thing. Nice ride for Pat Brown. So now Natalie chasing the leader, Wienen, and we send you over to the signal area and Kimberly.
Guys, I'm with Dee, who is John Natalie's mechanic. make a push on Chad, then to go ahead and do it.
Perfect. We'll let you get back to it, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, he's transmitting whether or not there's any reception being done. Take you back in the field, Jason Dunkelberger and Josh Upperman. This is a battle for fifth.
Upperman and Dunkelberger kind of doing that Pat Brown, John Natalie thing. If you look at Upperman, he's all over fighting, trying to get past Dunk. And I got to say, that old green Kawasaki sure looks fast this weekend. But he still can't get past him.
You know, this course does invite all of this side-by-side stuff, nice and wide in so many places. Is he going to get him here? He bumps him.
Well, maybe he's trying to knock him out of the way. Now you got the big straightaway and the two huge tabletop jumps. Upperman certainly seems to have the speed. He just needs to find the opening.
He continues to look as he chases down Dunkelberger. Now he comes inside, then comes outside, back inside again.
You know, there's one very defined line here where the blue groove is, and that's what Upperman found there.
Look at that.
You see, he hit that hard dirt. That's where they actually start to lay down some of the tire rubber. It almost looks black like asphalt, and Upperman found it, and he was gone like a jet, but almost took himself in contention.
Now we want to show you the battle for fifth. You remember Josh Upperman and Josh Kramer? Well, here they are, continuing to go one another, and they're fighting for fifth place.
Yeah, they're really going to fight for fifth place because they both want to have the high place honors back at the Kawasaki truck when they get back there to that rig, and they have to face their team manager, Jimmy White. They're like a couple of brothers really duking this thing out. And this is a hard-fought race for fifth right now.
Nothing has changed up at the front. It is still Chad Wienen, the leader, and he's pretty much checked out. John Natalie Jr., remember, his pit told him he was where he needed to be in second place and didn't really have to go for the win. The question is whether or not that message was received, acknowledged, and acted on by John Natalie. For the time being, it appears that he has.
Yeah, you just don't know with John. I mean, he's a racer. He loves being at the front, but D-Manchek, his mechanic, is saying, rest it up. If you've got the fitness, you're feeling good towards the end there, sure, go chase Chad down. But right now, it's all about the season end points.
And I don't think Natalie likes to be referred to as vulnerable, but remember, he broke his sternum. He still rides in a great deal of discomfort, if not just flat-out pain. So anytime he has a chance to rest himself for a weekend, if you call second place and riding a Pro 450 MX to be resting yourself, then that's maybe a good thing for him to do and save himself so he can really put a burst on for the final events.
Well, this battle continues between the Kawasaki teammates of Upperman and Kramer. And certainly right now seems to have the upper hand.
And so you say, well, what about some of the guys like Dustin Wimmer that got caught up all the way in the back of the field? How is he doing? We're going to take you back in and find Dustin Wimmer for you. There he is.
Well, that's what happens when you get stuck in the back of the field. It's a mess back there. So Hunter Miller and John Reagan were in front of Dustin. He's got to battle through. This is 10th through 15th place. And he now is sitting in that 12th position and trying to find his way through, but it's dusty, it's tough fighting. I would hate to be Dustin Wimmer. How disappointed does he have to be right now? After it's such a simple mistake that happened when he just rode up on Doug Gust's back wheel.
Yeah, but he can at least race with somebody. He just got around John Reagan. That's the white machine over on the left. Now he sets his sights on Hunter Miller. Hunter Miller currently sits in 10th place. So at least he is in this large group putting on a great show for the fans here and is steadily moving forward as he finally gets around Miller as well. Now he's got some clear sailing ahead. He can show some speed.
Important in the back of the pack. He doesn't want to get taken out by one of those guys either when there's a whole big clump of them fighting. So you can see he kept looking around every time he wanted to make a move. He's now solidly in 10th, but 10th is a long, long way back.
Yeah, and just think of the impact on the points because every position he moves forward, of course, it just adds a little more to the points. He needs everything that he can get. That almost goes without saying. but he doesn't really need 10th place points. He needs to get up and be with the leaders. Time's running out. I'm not so sure he's going to get.
Well, the thing is, you know, at this point in the race, a lot of these positions, they're kind of far apart from each other. The field has got strung out, so he has an awful lot of open track that he has to motor through to catch up to the 9th position, and then keep, as you said, knocking him off one by one to try and get every single point he can on Chad Natalie, who is pretty comfortably in 2nd right now.
Well, let's take you back up to the leader of the race. That's Chad Wienen. He is sitting on point, and like we say, pretty much checked out. There you see him. And there's no sign of John Natalie close by. Natalie is 2nd. Wienen's got this thing totally, assuming that he drives it to the finish without any issues, and that's a pretty broad assumption when you're talking the Pro 450s. But you can just tell by the sound of the motor, he's not really gassing it as hard as he can. It looks like he's saving the machine, and I think John Natalie's doing the same.
Well, Chad Wienen has had a great start to his season, but had a few troubles mechanically speaking, and that's why he's actually not further up, maybe in the lead in the points right now. Certainly some great racing, and he's up there definitely contending with Wimmer and with Natalie, and also Doug Gust in the mix too. So, you know, Chad Wienen, certainly this purports of great things to come in the future for him and this Suzuki team. But what a great race he's putting in now.
Well, there goes Chad Wienen. Now we're going to look back and find John Natalie on 13. And that is the interval all the way back to 2nd place.
Way back. That's not looking back. That's looking way back. And there's Pat Brown in 3rd place. So they've really split things up. And I think that's
Keith Little.
That's Keith Little. Look at Little go. I mean, how amazing is Keith Little getting those hole shots and then trying to hang on to it the whole way through these races. And now he has the green machine coming at him.
Then Kramer and Upperman, the 2 green machines, continue in their pursuit, and that rounds out the top 5 for you. But Chad Wienen, wow, he's really well out in front. And when you saw John Natalie come through as well, it kind of gives you the impression that he was resting it a little bit as well.
But Natalie has to be concerned because Pat Brown is a very fast racer, and if he dials it back too much, then Brown is going to catch him. And remember, Natalie, too, he needs every single position he can get because it all means points. And he's obviously getting reports from D. Manchak about where Dustin Wimmer is. So he knows he's kind of back there in 10th, so he's got a bit of a buffer. But Kramer, look at this, the number 9 machine, putting in a great ride. He finally got past Upperman to get himself into 5th position.
And as we look again for the leader, Chad Wienen, there he is. One of the advantages that you have is you really, as he starts the last lap, you really know the position of other competitors when they're close in more by where you hear them than where you see them. And his good news is he's really only hearing the revs on his engine. He knows that he has got just this solid lead. They've been signaling that from the signal boards constantly, and look at it, it's almost a casual ride for him now. The same is true of John Natalie because he is so far back and unchallenged in 2nd place. But Chad Wienen, final lap, and this is going to be good news for him in the points battle.
Well, he certainly is moving through this thing so slowly because he doesn't want any mistakes. He doesn't want a problem with the machine, and he doesn't want just one of those crazy get-offs that sometimes we see. You come around the corner and you just hit a pothole wrong, and all of a sudden you're upside down looking at your Suzuki. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is going to be a very convincing win for Wienen.
It's the checkered that lies just ahead. One of the problems sometimes with slowing down is you screw up your rhythm. He slows down totally, doesn't even jump the finish line, takes the checkered flag, and now we look back to see where John Natalie is, make sure he's going to finish in 2nd place, and there he is. And he too, well, he gave it a little jump, but looks like he was being fairly careful as well. And Pat Brown, he comes across in 3rd place.